So I'm making a new series, guys, about the best deals of the week. So every single week I will make a new video about the best Prebuilt gaming PCs that you can buy right now. I know I make my monthly video, but now it's going to be weekly, so make sure to stay tuned and click the bell button if you want to get notified every single week in case you're searching for a new gaming PC. You will have all the links for these PCs down below in the description, and you have my video about the best budget PCs as well in the top right of the screen in case you're looking for a cheap gaming desktop. Without more to say, let's start with the list. So with the first PC, we have the cheapest one on the list, and I think that it's a great deal for the price that you're paying. It's $700, and we are talking about the Big Tooth by HP, the 15L. Now I'll talk about the specifications, and if you don't understand anything about computers, don't worry, because after talking about the specifications, I will explain what this PC is capable of running. It has the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G for the CPU, which is a great budget CPU, just below the Ryzen 5 6600X. Then we get the GTX 1660 Super for the GPU, a great GPU for 1080p gaming. There's literally no game that you cannot run at least 60 FPS on average, even on the highest settings, and I'm talking about games like Red Dead Redemption 2. So if you play games like Valorant and CSGO, expect at least 144 FPS at all times, and you're only paying $700 for this PC. The only downside, in my opinion, is the 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of SSD, which you can upgrade really easily down the line if you can right now because of your budget. But if you can upgrade these two things, click on customize and buy and change the memory to 16 gigs and the storage to at least 500 gigabytes of SSD. I would highly recommend you buying this PC, especially if you're starting out and you don't care about future upgradability. You just want a gaming PC that's good for performance right now. You don't have to spend a ton of money, and it's going to last at least 3 years. And believe me that for a starting PC, it's great for 1080p and it's going to work wonders. I have the HP Pavilion gaming desktop. I've made a full review with benchmarks as well, and this one is actually way better than the HP Pavilion, so you can see how my Pavilion was at running video games and expect a much better experience at that one. So you can check my video about the Pavilion in the top right of the screen as well. And remember that the upgrades that I recommend you doing, you can do those easily down the line, so you don't have to have the money right now, but consider those upgrades, especially because 16 gigs of RAM is the standard for gaming and will help you out to have much more stable FPS, especially in games like Fortnite. And then the storage, it's important if you are planning on playing games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and other heavy games, so you don't full out your storage really quickly. So with the next one, we have one from Newegg. This one is the AVS Master Gaming PC for $1,000, and it's on sale for $500 less right now on a 33% discount. So I think that if you're looking for a gaming PC for around $1,000, this one should be your best option right now, and I recommend you buying it as soon as possible because you're getting a great deal here. You get the i5-10400F, which is a decent budget CPU. It's going to get the job done at 1080p, but then you get the RTX 3060 with 16 gigs of RAM already, so no upgrades necessary, and 500 gigs of M.2 NVMe SSD. And the best part is that you get a good quality from edge panel, so the airflow overall for this PC is actually great. For the CPU, you also get a better cooler than the stock Intel cooler, so overall you're getting a great cooling and you're actually getting a great performance for 1080p, especially on the highest end games. Like I said before, for esports titles such as Fortnite and Valorant, this one will be more than enough for a 240Hz monitor, but it's also going to perform great on high-end video games, even Flight Simulator 2020, which is a heavy game to run, and here you can actually run it for $1,000, and that's pretty crazy. The only downside for this PC is that you get 500 gigs of SSD, but again, this depends on the games that you're going to play. But if you're going to do some video editing or you will download a lot of games, I recommend you upgrading it to at least 1 TB of SSD, but that is the only downside that I see, because everything else, the components and the airflow, are actually great for the price that you're paying. With the next PC, it's $1,500. Now don't worry, if you have a budget between $1,000 and $1,500, the next PC is going to be cheaper because it's a better deal. But here you get a nice deal from Amazon, the iBuy Power Pro Slate MR desktop. Here you get the i5-12600KF, which is the latest gen of the i5, a 10-core 16 threads processor, great for video editing and multitasking, and it's in the middle between the i5-12400F and the i7-12700F. So you're getting a great CPU, a way better CPU than the i5-10400F that I've showed you on the last PC, and you're getting the same GPU, the RTX 3060, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of SSD, and 1TB of hard drive. So you're getting more storage, a way better CPU with, by the way, a 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler and decent airflow for the case. So the cooling system is actually pretty decent. You're getting a way better CPU and you're getting more storage, but the price difference is pretty huge, so it really depends on your budget. But if you have $1,500, I think this PC is actually a good deal, especially if you're thinking of doing multitasking. And like I said before, the RTX 3060 is actually great for 1080p gaming. Now if you wanna do some 1440p gaming, I recommend at least the 3060 Ti, which don't worry, it's going to be on this list. With the next PC, we have another one from Newegg. This one is as well an ABS master. It has the i5-11400F, so you're getting a worse CPU than the last one, but you're spending $1,400 and it's on sale right now. You end up saving $300, and the best part here is that you get the RTX 3060 Ti instead of the 3060, and like I said on the previous PC, the 3060 Ti is going to be much better, especially for 1440p gaming. For 1080p gaming, I don't think you're going to notice a difference, because for 1080p, the last one or this one will perform actually really good, but for $1,400, if you want something that's better for gaming than the i5 Power PC and you're spending less money, this one is definitely for you. But if you want something that's for multitasking and video editing, the last one with the i5-12600KF is going to perform better than this one. So it really depends on your use on this computer. But if you want a gaming PC, I think this one is actually a better deal than the last one, and since we are talking about gaming PCs, that's why I put it here on this list. With the next PC, we have this Skytech Blaze gaming desktop for $1,600, and here you get the i7-11700F, a great processor for multitasking once again, and then you get the 3060 Ti and 1TB of SSD with 16 gigs of RAM at 3200MHz, and also a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler with a great front mesh panel, so the airflow overall is going to be great. And I think that for the price, you're getting not only a great gaming PC but also a great multitasking gaming desktop, so it's like a balance between the last two, where you get the best GPU out of the two and you get a really similar CPU. So here you get something great for gaming and also multitasking for $100 extra to the i5 Power PC. I recommend you this PC, especially if you want to do 1440p 144Hz gaming and also multitasking, or if you want to do 1080p 240Hz gaming and as well multitasking. With the next deal, we have one that it's really expensive, but I actually recommend you buying it if you have this budget at around $3,700. Really expensive, but you get the i7-12700K, so you get a great processor for multitasking, video editing, 3D rendering and also streaming. Then you get the RTX 3080 Ti for the GPU, so basically it's a 4K gaming PC, and on top of that you get 32 gigs of RAM of DDR5 4800MHz with RGB of course, and 1TB of Gen 4 NVMe SSD alongside a 1000 watt 80 plus gold power supply. So overall you're getting, I think, a great PC, but before buying this PC you have to make sure that you are going to use it correctly. And what I mean by this is that if you're just going to play at 1080p or even 1440p games like GTA 5 and Fortnite, I don't think this PC is actually worth it for you. But if you're going to do some heavy video editing at 4K, playing video games at 4K ultra settings, and I mean the highest end video games, or you just wanna play with ray tracing, everything on ultra, I think this PC is actually worth it for you. And then if you even have more money, at $4,500 you can get the Prism 2 from Skytech as well, but this time it's on Amazon, and the difference here is that you get the i9-12900K and the RTX 3090, so a better GPU-CPU combo, and it's actually the best CPU-GPU combo that you can get right now overall in my opinion, and the other components are the same. So if you have a budget that's $3,700 or $4,500, I think these two PCs are actually worth it depending on your situation. That was my whole list. If you like this new series, leave a like and subscribe, but like I said before, most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of video every single week. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.